typically when it comes to manifestation, most people focus on the beliefs surrounding the desired reality that they want to materialize, without realizing that more importantly than any one of those beliefs are actually the beliefs that you possess around manifestation. Because chances are, if you've been studying this information as I have been for the past 8 years, reading hundreds of books, then you'll come across a lot of false narratives, a lot of false ideas that actually hinder your ability to materialize your desired reality. As you can see, our boy over here, question, and he's like, and as usual, Azangorakas. Now, there's three beliefs in particular that you need to possess in order for you to materialize your desired reality. Because more importantly than the beliefs that you possess around your desired reality, whether that be money, whether that be health, whether that be relationships, whether that be your career, are the beliefs that you possess around manifestation in of itself. Because if you was to conceptualize it like this, the beliefs that you have surrounding manifestation are the fuel within the vehicle that will drive you to your desired reality. So we need to, first of all, correct the false beliefs that you have. So in this video, I'm going to give you the three false beliefs that you have. There are three energetic polarities, which will allow you to easily and effortlessly materialize your desired reality in the most efficient way. And as we always say, spirituality without the ability to control your reality is nothing but sheer vanity. So as always, relax. You're going to get something. Let's get into it.
Mr. Ronaldo.
If I tell you, say I love you, my money, my body, you are not all your baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. You know, we can't sing too many Nigerian songs or the Nigerians will get gassed. Yo, I wear to survive. You know, Age, I really need to put you on to some music from the motherland. No more of that yardie music.
Bro. Someone asked, Nero, I'm a girly in Paris. Could you please do a video on the purpose of life? Thank you.
No.
She thought she had aura the way she said thank you before you.
The reason I said no is because even if I was to go down into the purpose of life, one would have to understand that the creator being infinite and us materialized aspects of the creator, their infinite purposes to life, that actually contributes nothing to your ability to enter your desired reality to any degree. Hence why I like to keep all the information I make around this channel solely centered around entering your desired reality, because spirituality without the ability to control your reality is nothing but sheer vanity. So unfortunately, girly in Paris, no. Okay. So the first false belief, let's write false belief 1. And this is solely centered around manifestation. And I can't emphasize the importance that you actually get through each and every one of these beliefs to understand how it has been negatively altering your desired reality. Because what typically happens is that people, or you, for example, will do all the work. You'll read the books, you'll do your meditations, your visualizations, your affirmations and whatnot. But then it just seems like your materialized desired reality is just out of your grasp. And it's more often than not because you're not realizing the holes that are already in your ship that is causing things to sink. So, false belief number 1. Am I doing it right? Now, something very dangerous happens in the realm of manifestation as you begin studying this information. And that is that you begin to study so many different varieties of sources that sometimes these ideas can contradict and sometimes they can actually oppose each other. And what that ends up leading to, the more that you study, unfortunately, we fall into a paradox, which I call analysis paralysis. And that is the idea that you study so much that you don't know what actually fucking works. Some chick will tell you that you got to do affirmations like a psychopath. A nigga like me will be like, you ain't gotta do all of that. Somebody else will say you need to do this. Somebody else will say you have to do that. And what ends up happening is that you fall into a mistake. And that mistake is the false belief in the idea that your techniques are what creates reality. I need you to understand something very clearly. Techniques do not create reality. You create reality. All techniques do is get you, and this aligns with the true definition of manifestation, as I always say. Manifestation is internally shifting to a degree to which you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing your reality change. Now, techniques supposedly are supposed to get you into a state where your internal state has shifted. So internal shifted state. Techniques themselves do not create reality. I can't emphasize that enough, because the big mistake that a lot of people make is finding out the best manifestation technique. Is it affirmations? Is it visualizations? Is it scripting? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? It's neither. The only manifestation technique that works is you. And that's how I write that down. I need you to come to the understanding that techniques in and themselves don't work. It is the energy within you that you pour, the emotional conviction that you pour into the beliefs that actually activate them working. And the reason why this is a false belief, the idea of, am I doing it right? And don't lie to me, nigga. I know. You may take notes from our videos, and if you do, make sure you leave them in the comments. You go away, you start practicing these things. You think to yourself, am I doing this right? Am I doing this the right way? Am I doing this the right way? Without realizing that what that is a true representation of is a false idea that there is fucking right, and there's not. And let me tell you why. There are no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. On a humanistic level, we all understand the idea of a placebo. It's that idea that if I can give somebody a sugar pill, but give you the particular belief that it's something else, that it will cause your body to react in a particular way. I give you a sugar pill, you end up thinking it's an ibuprofen or a paracetamol, and you experience the effects of a painkiller. Understand that you are nothing more than a reflection of the universe. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So if your body is a placebo, then that means reality in of itself is a placebo. Belief is the simplest form of magic. And what this represents when you come to the idea of, am I doing it right? It shows that you are lacking belief. And it's actually that particular element of self-doubt that alters and corrupts your desired reality. Now, hold on a minute. Don't all these spiritual niggas tell you that you're God? If you're God, then that means you make the laws of your reality. And that comes back to what I just said. There are no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. The individual who believes he can, and the individual who believes he can't. The individual that believes a particular reality will be put into that reality on the basis that your frequency is quite literally the portal for the world that you live in. And this can be extrapolated to multiple people. There's one planet, there's 8 billion people, there's 8 billion frequencies. Everybody's living in their own version of reality based upon their universe, and their universe is nothing more than a reflection of the most emotionally charged beliefs. And when those beliefs are outpictured into your reality, you call them truths. But you only call them truths because you're experiencing them in the third dimensional realm, but that's an illusion. It's not a truth. It's actually an idea pretending to be a truth. It's an idea pretending to be a truth backed with emotion, and it's entered your subconscious mind and been outpictured into your reality. So when we look at the idea of, am I doing it right? It shows that you have a misplaced sense of belief. Now pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. More than what you do is the belief in what you're doing is right. And this is the true version of this. This is the energetic polarity of the true belief. I am doing it right. And I need you to maintain this particular idea no matter what the fuck you do. Even if you're not sure about what you're doing from a point of manifestation, listen to what I'm saying. The conviction in what you're doing is more important than what it is that you're actually doing. There's some niggas out here that do techniques that would absolutely shock you. Don't even make no fucking sense. But simply because they believe that it's going to work, they actually activate that technique to work, because reality is a placebo, and that placebo is driven by your particular belief. And when I say belief, I mean the emotional conviction that you know that this is working. And when we look at conviction in of itself, this aligns with the true esoteric definition of faith from a point of etymology. Faith comes from the Latin word fides. Fides meant confidence / conviction. Hence why in the Bible, when they talk about faith being this driving force that's in alignment with the highest version of you, your highest frequency, that is the truest definition of what it means. So what you need to believe when you're making your notes, as you're doing your techniques, as you're watching your videos, I am doing it right. that belief in of itself is more important than what you're doing. Because understand this, it doesn't matter how many money affirmations you do, or money visualizations, partner visualizations, partner affirmations, career, whatever the fuck it is that you're trying to materialize, all of that shit will collapse if you have this particular element of you that is reflecting and resonating with a particular degree of self-doubt, because that self-doubt will alter the frequency of your desired reality. And when that frequency of your desired reality is altered, then the signal that you're outputting to the universe is scrambled. And when the universe can't clearly interpret what it is that you're trying to materialize, it will revert back to its most comfortable state of consciousness, which is the consciousness that you're already in. And that consciousness will then be materialized into your reality, because reality is nothing more than a delayed particular form of consciousness. That's a bar that down. So I need you to understand this, and I need you to hold this belief and understand. And this is so funny because whether you realize this or not, the world has actually taught you to doubt yourself. The world has taught you to not only not believe in yourself, but to doubt yourself. Because understand this, when people watch my videos, the amount of comments that people leave saying, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Why the fuck do you need my permission? And pay very close attention to this. Me and you, there's no difference between me and you. Even the most spiritual person that you think, there's no difference between any of us. So my permission, what would my permission do for you? And it's actually the fact that you need my permission and validation is a true indication that you lack conviction in yourself. But if you center that conviction into yourself, you don't require permission from anybody except you. That's a bar that down. And the permission with you begins with the idea that what you are doing is right. Now think about it like this, innit? And this example is quite funny. So let's say that you're trying to materialize a desired reality, and you say, Nero, am I doing this right? And I say, no. In order for you to materialize that desired reality, you got to send me £500 every time you do a meditation, and that will work. Would you believe that? Hopefully you wouldn't. But it's that particular degree of self-doubt that allows for exploitation, because any insecurity that you have will always be exploited by reality, conditions, circumstances, events, and people, because they're out picturing that particular degree of insecurity, and the universe seeks to magnify the state of consciousness and the frequency that you're internally holding. And I need you to understand that example sounded very silly. Oh, you need to pay me before you materialize your desire. That just sounds silly. But why would you require my validation and permission when there's no difference between me and you? It's your reality. You make the laws of your reality. And this law has to be the foundational law that you hold, that you are doing it right. I can't stress that enough, because so long as you don't hold the particular idea of if you're doing it right, you will seek validation and permission from people externally to you, including me. And I am not to be somebody that you seek external validation for. Keep telling you niggas, you need to watch out for these particular individuals, archetypes of whatever it may be, whether pastors or spiritual leaders, that require you to come to them for validation, because there's no difference between any of us. And I keep telling you guys, and you know, spiritual niggas are funny, innit? I know like you're new to this stuff, but sometimes spiritual niggas just make shit up. They'll be like, you see the word follow? It comes from the word swallow. So when you follow me, you're swallowing me. You're taking in whatever I say. And when you take in whatever I say, that actually is the true name of Lucifer. And I'll put that spooky music. But you get the point. Hopefully you understand the point. You need to come to the understanding that whatever you do, you're doing it right. And this is something that I want you to maintain. Inject that particular thought into your head with conviction and confidence that I am doing it right. Why are you doing it right? Because the only thing that constitutes if you're doing it right is the emotional conviction that you pour into if you're doing it right. Nothing at all. It's not about the amount of meditation. It's not about the amount of visualization. It's not about the amount of affirmations. If you simply believe that you have conviction in what you're doing, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. I'm materializing my desired reality perfectly. That's all that matters. I can assure you. What are you laughing at, bro? I can see you laughing behind the screen. Go on.
Nero, you are the GOAT. We are the GOAT.
That's true. I like that. We all are. I like that. I'm not a GOAT, but I fit the description.
You said that? The guy that fell off?
Don't do that.
Ah.
Don't do that.
My bad.
Don't do that to little baby.
Nah, he fell off hard, innit?
It's hard to say. His new album just dropped. I ain't heard it yet.
The thing is though, if it was someone like Drake, I'd be like, yo, give it some time. Because
you're actually Drake's top gobbler, that's why.
Because Drake's music sometimes takes a while to hit, you know?
What did Drake say?
Hey,
come with a classic, they come on years and sing this. It's
funny, bro. Someone just said top gobbler and everyone's laughing and replying to that.
Because you are Drake's top gobbler.
No, wow. Thanks.
Like, wipe your mouth, bro. Zip it up and wipe your mouth.
Nero, Drake is cancelled too.
Do you know what's so crazy? A lot of people think that I'm actually aware of what goes on. I kid you not. AJ's always telling me about, oh, have you not heard of this person? Have you not seen this? I'm not in the fucking loop at all. I'm like the worst person. Like, even, like, I literally don't know anything that goes on. Yo, you been seeing what Usher's been doing? Feeding
cherries.
Can you imagine?
Oh. These man just don't care for the regular people.
You get me?
Out here ruining relationships.
Nah, those people ruin their own relationships, though.
I hear it.
Because feeding your gal cherries at a concert in front of 5,000 eyes, fam, and their necks are just twisted like a ostrich.
The thing is, man, if a girl wants to go to an Usher concert, is she really there for the music? You know?
Usher's my goat, though. That's my goat. Like, no homo, like.
I thought he's gonna go there for the cherry.
No. What, for the cherry?
Yeah.
Depends on the day. False belief number 2. What colors to choose? Usher is really the GOAT, though.
No, Usher is GOAT.
His catalog is serious.
So is Chris Brown, to be fair, and we didn't give him enough credit.
It is. It really is. It really is. False manifestation belief number 2. And guys, so long as you adhere to these, and this might be something that you're adhering to unconsciously that you're not even aware of, which more than likely it is. But the false belief number 2 is the idea in big or small manifestations. Now, I'll give you an example. It's fairly common for our minds as human beings to make the mistake of categorizing things. We like to label things as human beings. We like to label things as big or small. Pause. Now, the issue with that from a point of manifestation, reverting back to the first primary law of there are no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true, you need to understand, quite simply, you make the laws of your reality. And the issue is, too many of us make laws that actually keep us in conditions of suffering, scarcity, survival, and struggle without even realizing, or we're given these particular laws and we internalize them as truths without understanding that there are no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true. And as humans, a tendency of our egos to label things, we like to categorize things because the ego likes to make sense of the world. You have to understand, across your 5 senses, we're taking our bodies, our 5 senses, taking billions of signals from the environment around us, and the body initially interprets this as chaos, and it needs to make sense of things, so it reduces the amount of signals that it's taking in to make sense of reality, so our minds don't process it as chaos. Hence why we like to make sense of things. We like to make sense of things through labeling things. And the thing about reality is that the moment you begin to define reality, you begin to confine it, and that's, I'll write that down. A lot of people in the manifestation space will be like, oh yeah, I can only manifest small things. People say that to me all the time. I can't manifest big things. Pause. And what you have to come to the understanding about that is the truth of the matter. So long as you're adhering to the confinements of big or small, then what that shows is that you're trapped in a particular illusion of polarity, because polarity is big or small. Polarity is the energetic pairs of opposites that exist within this third dimensional realm. Within this third dimensional realm, this illusionary reality, there's masculine, feminine, yin, yang, hot, cold, negative, positive, good, bad, big or small. And so long as you are confined within operating and adhering to polarity, you are trapped within this third dimensional realm. Outside of our third dimensional realm, everything is one. There is no big or small. Hence why esoterically in Matthew 19:26, Jesus said, with men, this is impossible. With the ego that likes to label things. With the ego, this is impossible. But with who? With God, all things are possible. And God is the true recognition of you operating from your true self that is above illusions. So there is no big or small manifestations. But the irony of it is there is no big or small manifestations until you begin to adhere to that, because you create the laws of your reality. So if you believe in the notion of big and small, you actually create big or small. This is why you're able to materialize small things, but the big things, pause again, you're not able to materialize them. And it's nothing more than you placing laws upon yourself that are actually confining you without realizing, as Jesus said in Matthew 19:26, with God, all things are possible. So if your particular desired reality, you see as something that is too great, it shows that you're actually operating from a false identity. You're operating from the ego. You need to step into being able to operate from your God self. And if you want to do that, then you need to know God. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. How often are you still? How often are you still and then you immerse yourself into the infinite potentiality of the silence within the mind and make that connection between God? And that connection with God first has to exist on a mental plane. This is why all the spiritual masters recognized that they're connected to God on a mental level. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. And you'll see traces of these similar comments across Buddha and Krishna. The understanding that they're the materialized version, right, of the infinite consciousness. That's what Krishna represents, and that's what Buddha represents. You're not supposed to follow Christ, you're supposed to become Christ. You're not supposed to follow Buddha, you're supposed to become Buddha. You're not supposed to follow Krishna, you're supposed to become Krishna. Krishna gave you the blueprint at the start of Bhagavad Gita. He said the wise does not grieve the living or the dead. He says the wise is the same in pleasure and pain, because they've transcended polarity. You have to be the same in pleasure and in pain, because they're the same thing. Big or small, it's the same thing. There is no big or small, it's one thing. But the moment that you believe in big or small, you create big or small. When you create big or small, you're then stuck operating through being confined. Because here's the thing, anything that we determine as big in our reality, based upon, unfortunately, the way our self-esteem and our self-concept, which bear in mind, your self-esteem is the ceiling of anything you'll ever be able to materialize in reality, which is very closely linked to your self-worth. We will always see things that are big too far from us. And instantly you've created a gap in between you and your desired reality without realizing that you're operating from a false identity. Nothing has to be big or small to you, so long as you're operating from your God eyes, which is above polarity. Because big or small are just labels that the ego uses to conceptualize things much more easier. It's tricky stuff. It's very, very tricky stuff. So think about it. You may see your desired reality as something that is too great. I can only manifest small things. But here's the thing about the small things, and this is the beauty of it. And the beauty of it is that you niggas always ask me questions about how to manifest. You don't fucking realize you've been manifesting your whole life without even realizing it. Because whether you realize this or not, and of course, the truth belief of this is that there is no big or small. That's the truth of the matter, so long as you're operating from the true identity. And as I said, without realizing, you've been materializing things your whole time. Girls might come to me and say, hey, I want to manifest this. And I'm like, you're already manifesting. And they're like, what? I'm like, yo, all them niggas that are trying to get to you. They're like, yeah, but I don't care about those. When I talk to guys and they want to materialize money or something, I'm like, yo, and this is a very, very silly example, of course, but man, them will understand what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, but when you play FIFA, you smack man up easy. And they're like, yeah, because that's easy, that's light. You have to pay very close attention to the fact that you've been materializing things with ease, whether you realize this or not, all by using the secret frequency of not needing. And this is the funniest thing, because when clients hire me, that's one of the first things that we take them through. The secret frequency of not needing. What aspects of your life have you been able to materialize things with ease? What things? Because when you find those things, all you need to do is take that view that you have of those things that to you are just easy and just apply it there. Because the moment that we begin to call things big, we actually pedestalize things. And when you pedestalize something, the universe says, this nigga doesn't know who the fuck they are. Because you are the shiniest object in the universe. There's nothing worth more than you in the universe, which is why the world will get you to sell yourself for it. Not the other way around, and that's a bar that down. Because you need to come to the true understanding of the fact that when you begin to call something big, pause again, you actually end up placing a particular degree of importance upon it. And the universe interprets importance as energetic space. So the more importance or the bigger something is, the bigger the gap in between you and your desired reality. But there's instances in life where you see things as normal. You should listen to the way girls talk about niggas. They're like, oh, men are dogs, get away from me. With such, what if you took that same mentality and applied it to your desired reality? Because that's a secret frequency that you've been using your whole life without realizing. AJ thinks he's good on FIFA. If you took that same mentality about how you smack niggas up on FIFA and put it into something else, then you'd collapse that gap in between it. And you can see this in small aspects of your life. Take it, extrapolate it, and see it as nothing. Because the moment you do that, then the gap in between collapses. And you come to the true recognition that there's nothing in this universe greater than God. And you're the materialization of God. So what could be greater than you? What you think making 100K a month is greater than you, or you think manifesting a partner is greater than you, or getting a promotion, your job is greater than you. And that's the exact reason you'll never fucking materialize it. Because you have a misplaced particular degree of importance. The importance should be centered around you. There is no big or small in your reality. There's just you. And that's a bar. Write that down.
It's a very good example.
Can't lie, I'm cooking this video, innit?
Yeah. I would destroy niggas on FIFA still.
Stop. Wait a minute. The way that you're good.
I just wanna feel you tonight.
Can I be a friend? This is how I feel. I'm in need of love. So let's step out of here.
I always think, yo, when people make like bangers like that, imagine being in the studio.
You get me? You're just like
witnessing that in real time.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Wow.
Shout out to all the guys that thought they were making bangers though. That little baby.
Don't do that, bro. She sent me a text, I'll answer her call. She don't wanna flex, then shop at the mall.
Someone said, what's your favorite chocolate bar, Nero? Then, when you say that's a bar, write it down. I can write it in the comments.
Some girl commented in the comments, I think I'm in love with you both.
Use both.
Me and you, bro.
People trying to get me in trouble, bro. What's going on? We love them as well. We love all of you guys.
I guess I'm supposed to say me too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do.
Think.
Shit wouldn't be up here.
For
You know what I'm saying? 2 men in a hot room, fam.
Oh, this room gets hot, man.
Yeah, it gets hot. Yeah, 2 men in a
So
room.
take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off.
Okay then. False belief number 3. It's the third one, right?
I hope so.
Oh, there was a comment, and somebody was just talking about how, they've been watching. What are you reading?
Sorry. He's a fake, an actor. When he forgets his lines, he's fed lines in his sunglasses that have audio hookup.
Shit.
He's been guided by an
Shit.
old white man professor.
Shit.
It's really an absurd game they're playing.
Oh my god, they got us. They
Fuck.
knew that the sunglasses have a microphone.
How did they know?
Shit. I guess it's over for us now.
Oh man.
I guess it's over for us now. What are we gonna do? This is the end of us. You know that, right?
Fuck, to figure this out, man.
What do white people say? The jig is up.
The jig is up.
You know I love you like cooked food. You know you fucking with a good dude. You know you get a good brain like you graduated from a good school. Cool. The final false belief is that it's going wrong. And how often does this happen? You may be studying this stuff, and this particular belief is actually what makes things go wrong. So please understand what I'm about to break down here. Let me change colors. Change clothes. I know that I'm carrying on. Never mind if I'm showing off. I was just fronting. You know I want you back.
That's a chain still.
Understand this. You fall for a deadly mistake. Now, when reality is not showing you something that you may particularly like, you may be doing this while thinking, yo, this shit ain't fucking working. Stuff keeps going left. It just keeps getting worse. It's going wrong. The whole reason you believe in wrong calls back to that particular degree of what I mentioned earlier, which is polarity. You believe in the notion of 2 powers, and the way that this originated, if we're to take it back from a historical point of view, is the idea of God and the devil. Now, typically the religious belief is that God has to have an opposite, because everything in reality has an opposite, right? So God's opposite is the devil, and the devil represents wrong and God represents right. But you niggas need to understand, the only difference between the devil and the boogeyman is that one is believed by children and one is believed by adults. And the reason I say that is because when you have a true understanding of universal laws, you'll come to an understanding that the devil can't exist. Because people say God has to have an opposite that's representative of the devil. But God having an opposite is tied to the illusion of polarity. Everything that I said earlier, negative, positive, good, bad, masculine, feminine, hot, cold, rich, poor, so on and so forth. But hold on a minute. I thought God is above illusion. God created universal laws. If God is the one that orchestrated this entire universe and organized every particular universal law, from gravity to polarity to mentalism to vibration to rhythm to cause and effect, then why would God be subjected to a law that he is above? What God truly represents, that particular state of consciousness, the most high consciousness, is a being, an entity, a level, a frequency that is above illusion. So if God is above the illusion of polarity, then how the fuck can God have an opposite? And if God doesn't have an opposite, then hold on a minute. Then this taps into what it's esoterically explaining in Romans 13. Is it 13:31 or 13? Is Romans 13 something? I'll get AJ to put it up. Which is the idea that it says there is no authority in this world or in this universe except from God. There's only one power in this universe, but we've been sold the belief in 2 powers. And because we're sold the belief in 2 powers, we then believe that things can go right and things can go wrong. When you come to the understanding that there is no devil, then there is no wrong. Nothing can ever go wrong. There's only one path. And as soon as you maintain in the face of adversity, so when things are going wrong, you're trying to materialize more money and things keep going left, or you're trying to materialize a particular relationship and things are going left, or you're trying to materialize something in your career and things are going left, things are either not going or things are getting worse. In the face of that, you need to come to the understanding that there is no two paths. Things can't go right and things can't go wrong. Things can only go to one place because there's only one power in the universe. And once you come to the understanding that there's one power in the universe, then you understand no matter what reality shows you, and you have to maintain this belief, please, no matter what reality shows you, all paths lead to one place. I'm on my knees so much it hurts, man. Pause.
Boy.
All paths lead to one place, and that place is DR, not the Dominican Republic for the horny niggas that are getting excited thinking about the baddies. Your desired reality. No matter what reality shows you. And I need you to understand that as you begin to strive for your desired reality, you're going to experience some resistance, because as Sir Isaac Newton said, for every force, there's an equal and opposite force. So as you take 10 steps forward, that doesn't mean you have to go 10 steps back. It means you've generated the potentiality to experience the energy of 10 steps back based upon your ability to emotionally react to reality. The moment you begin to emotionally react to reality and you start to panic and get frantic and think, oh my God, it's going wrong, then you've bought into the idea of two powers. But because you make the laws of your reality, when you buy into the idea of two powers that things can go wrong, you actually end up making reality go worse. Not because two powers exist, but because you've created two powers. And this is what was esoterically said in Isaiah 45:7. I create the peace, I create the suffering. I create the light, I create the darkness. I create the calm and the calamity or the chaos. I, the Lord, do all these things. You create polarity by your belief in polarity, so long as you don't come to what was being said esoterically in Romans 13, which is the idea that there's only one power in the universe. And because there's only one power in the universe, no matter what reality shows you, you have to maintain this. It doesn't matter how much you work on your money beliefs, your relationship beliefs, your career beliefs, your internal self-beliefs. If you can believe reality can go wrong, then you're operating from a mistaken identity. And the universe will punish any nigga that doesn't know who they are. That's a bar, write that down. Because the truth of the matter is, there's one power in the universe, which means all paths lead to one place. And you have to understand it. If we see that this is only one path to your desired reality, let's say the desired reality is here, you're on a path and things start going left. The moment that you go on another route in reality showing you something else, you think that you're going somewhere else. Nah, that's just a detour. But that's a detour based upon your ability to maintain frequency. And that frequency is coming to the idea that nothing can go wrong because there's one path in the universe and all paths lead to one place. As far as manifestation beliefs, it's practically all you need. Have fun.